I need you right here beside me. If you oblige me, I hang it up and I'll never come out of retirement. You should just sleep on it, you shouldn't doubt me. It would be different without me. What is it?
Alright, hey guys, it's Bri aka SMARTISTA Beauty, and I'm here today with a video that I think is really helpful no matter what level of education you're in right now. You know, I get a lot of questions all the time about how I managed to maintain a somewhat healthy diet while in college, which you guys know, just living on your own in general, when you have the freedom to make your own choices, there are a lot of vices in the food department out there that we may sometimes indulge in with our newfound freedom. And I'm a senior in college, so over this time period I've compiled different ways to kind of, you know, change up the eating habits and make my best decisions. Okay, so I have notes here, so I really wanted to make sure I was thorough and didn't forget anything. Alright, so there are several aspects to college eating depending on what type of school you go to. It also depends on, like, if you have a meal plan, if you don't have a meal plan, how much you eat out, because, you know, that depends on if you have a car. So I'm going to try to, like, cover a little bit of everything in this video. On the go. As a college student, I am constantly on the go. I am running from point A to point B. There are going to be times in college, even though you make your own schedule, that you won't have time to, like, stop and get food because your classes might be, you might have two classes that are, you know, 2 hours each that are lapping together, and you might miss meal periods where there's lunch, etc., etc. So to combat this, I always like to have some sort of on-the-go meal. Not even just a meal, but like a snack to take to class or even after I work out, is my Organic Valley protein shakes. I grabbed these two Organic Valley milkshakes that I have, and they're actually protein milkshakes. So the first one is vanilla bean flavored. So this tastes just like vanilla bean ice cream if you were to, like, melt it into a milkshake, which is why I like it, because they taste really good. And then this one is dark chocolate. So these two, I interchange between these depending on, like, what kind of mood I'm in. This is why I use them after workouts. They have 16 grams of protein. They are using pure organic milks. For those people out there who are lactose intolerant, these are both lactose and gluten free, so that can be really helpful. So you can kind of still get your dairy cheat without lactose and gluten. So at the bottom of the label it says there are no GMOs, no antibiotics, no synthetic hormones, toxic pesticides, or artificial sweeteners in these. Yet they still taste like dessert, and it's great because they're actually really healthy for you. So I think that is one of my favorite things about these. And since they have you know, sources of vitamins and stuff, these are great to throw in my backpack when I'm running to class.
Of course, I have a discount for you guys. So for just $1 off of an Organic Valley milkshake bottle, or $3 off of one of their 4-packs, check out the link in my description box below.
And also, even if you want to, like, try and use these as bases for other things, you can, you know, throw it in the blender, add a banana, add some Greek yogurt, whatever your preference is. There's a lot of ways you can kind of mix and match these. So yeah, faves. Right. So people that hang around me at school a lot know this is the truth. I swear by Cliff Bars. I cannot get enough of these things. I don't know why. A lot of people don't like Cliff Bars. I personally love them. The one that I have today is actually really sweet. This one is not my favorite one because it is so sweet, but it is the white chocolate macadamia nut Cliff Bars. And I also really like, I think my favorite one is like the, like, I think it's peppermint, like mint chocolate chip or something like that. And I think that one's definitely my favorite. Sometimes, well, when I get to this part, the school cafeteria, I'll take a Cliff Bar and I'll get, like, frozen yogurt, and then I'll mash up, like, a chocolate Cliff Bar and use it as topping. I still eat like a normal human, guys. It's just I try to make better choices with what I choose to put in my body. You know, everything is a choice, and there's always a better choice. Other things that I use on the go, you guys know from that one vlog where I said I got a banana smushed in my backpack. I still always carry around a banana or something because they're just so easy to, like, peel as opposed to maybe like oranges, etc. So I always carry around a banana, bananas, grapes, strawberries, all that good stuff. I carry around just things on the go that can help, because I feel like when you skip meals during college, like you get really hungry, and then when you're starving, you crave junk food, so you end up, you know, indulging on your cravings a little bit more. Alright, so a tip that I have for you guys today is I'm going to show you some meal prep snacks that I personally like to make, that I feel are like really easy to throw together even the night before or the day of your classes. You can even use this in high school. It doesn't matter which level you're at. You can take these to work if you work a full-time job or anything like that. So the first one I really like is a fruit salad, and I just slice and dice all of my favorite fruits and I throw them together. If I'm feeling really fancy, I might throw on like a little bit of a chocolate drizzle or something on top. If you're somebody who is gonna go eat like a giant slice of chocolate cake, like one might say, oh well, you're putting chocolate drizzle on your fruit salad. Well, I'm like, it's still a fruit salad, you know. It's like I'm not too strict with my diet. I'm 21, I still have a fast metabolism. Where I can make a better choice, I always try to make that choice. Alright, so another favorite of mine, regular salads. But my favorite is just to make a homemade vinaigrette and then, you know, toss some salad leaves and just throw that in a, you know, Tupperware container, and that can easily slide in my bag or in like a grocery bag as well. Next thing I really like to make that are super convenient and clutch are yogurt parfaits. They're so easy to make. I buy granola from Whole Foods, and then I have you know, some frozen fruit that I throw in the night before that ends up melting when I leave it in the fridge. And then even if I want to, I'll throw some fresh fruit in. Could even throw in peanut butter, and then just the granola on top. It's great to take to class. Like, I throw mine in mason jars. That's one of my favorite ways to meal prep. And then I just, you know, I'll even, some mornings, because I make them the night before, I will like actually just eat it as I'm walking to class, and then just put the mason jar in my backpack when I get inside the classroom. Another thing that's great to make in mason jars is overnight oats. Now, if you're not a fan of oatmeal, you might not like this, but it's something I've grown very fond of because it's really easy to make. There's so many overnight oats recipes on Pinterest, on Tumblr. You just take a mason jar, raw oats, some type of milk substance, peanut butter, some fruits, and then maybe yogurt on top, but it's, you know, it varies every time a little bit. So next one, a lot of schools have this, some don't, but I think it's really important to cover if you have a meal plan. Now, my school, I know, offers meal plans to the students, which is something you can buy every semester, and basically every meal plan for every school is a little bit different, but, you know, mine's, it works where like they have meal block times, and you can swipe a card with your meal plan and, you know, basically walk into different food places to eat. So that's what I was talking about when I say, like, if you overbook your like schedule, sometimes you'll miss a meal period, and that's where it gets a little tricky. Now, for meal plans and cafeterias and fast food, here is your biggest enemy. I'm telling you, it is like the biggest enemy to your skin, to your sugar levels, to your, like, you know, weight gain, everything, is the soda machine, the cursed soda machine, because there are not many alternatives to soda, and even the juices in the soda machines are usually like really sweet, like basically syrup and water, like sugar syrup and water type of juices, not anything that's like fresh squeezed or organic or anything like that. So when I go to these soda machines, brace yourself, you're gonna have to stand in front of it, you're gonna have a cup in your hand, and you just take that deep breath, and you visualize it in your head. You're like, I want this clear skin, I want to do better. And this is where me saying that choices comes into play very heavily. I always try to push the water tab. Every once in a while, the only cheat drink I will do sometimes is ginger ale and cranberry juice with a little bit of orange juice in it. But that's like, I mean, if I feel for something, I'm going to get it, but that's like a treat for me, you know. Like I usually just always get water wherever I go. And I also carry a water bottle with me, which is a huge deal for school, because I feel like similar to when you're in the movies and you're eating popcorn, when you carry a water around, you're kind of sipping it throughout the day, and you like just kind of mentally forget that you are, and before you know it, like I carry big ones like a liter. You've drunk a liter of water already throughout the day. Alright, so that was my major tip for meal plans. And something I do with my school, I don't know if everybody has the option to do this, but I bring sand to the beach essentially. Sometimes I'll look at the menu of what they're serving that day, and I'm just like, you know, I feel like sometimes I don't want the salad from like the campus dining hall because the lettuce might be a little dry, or like, I don't know, or the dressing might be a little blah. Like, you know, things might not be my preference if I'm feeling picky that day. Sometimes I will literally bring, so yeah, that's another tip for, I guess, eating in a dining hall setting. Alright, so eating out. Again, I already talked about the soda machine, so you guys know that. A major tip I have for eating out is take a moment to look at the menu for the place you are going if you have a moment to do so. A lot of stores and restaurants have apps as well. And the apps and websites for most restaurants and fast food chains, etc., will show nutritional values. And if you're like me, not everyone has time to do that. It's a stretch. It's going the extra mile for your health. But sometimes, if I'm really in a rush, we're just hitting that McDonald's drive-thru. Like, let's be real. I will Google, you know, what is the healthiest thing you can order from the blank menu. And then I'll look through the options and then I'll order accordingly. And you know, honestly, like guys, it's like super duper strict dieting, unless you're like bodybuilding or like this is your career. I would say don't stress yourself out about it too much, but also you want to make choices like and develop habits for like long-term health. Alright, last but not least, this one is the one that can generally help everybody, and that is if you live in an apartment or a townhouse, whatever, a condo, and you live, you know, with roommates, whatever, but you're on your own and you do not have a meal plan through your school. You're literally like fending for self right now. My major tip for this, because whenever I'm on breaks for school, I'm always cooking for myself. Have a plan when you go to the grocery store. Do not go in blind and just kind of pick up a bunch of snacks and things, because then you get home and then you might just have like one or two things, and then you run out of food really fast, and then bam, where do you find yourself? You find yourself in the drive-thru and ordering like a triple quarter pounder or something. I don't know, Big Mac. So yeah, that's one thing. And then alright, so my next big tip for this is know your opponent. So for me, my opponent is laziness. I can be really lazy sometimes. Sometimes I don't feel like cooking. Sometimes I'm in the mood to chef like completely out, and you guys see on my Snapchat I make like salmon and steak and all these like really kind of gourmet-ish foods. But yeah, so one big thing for me is when I go shopping, I also factor in throwaway meals. And what's a throwaway meal? It's not necessarily a microwave dinner, but it's a meal that is something that's really, really easy to throw together. I always get frozen salmon. I know like a lot of college students are on budgets, but honestly, I think about it this way. I'm either going to pay for healthy things now, or I'm going to pay a doctor to like undo all the damage I did to my body later. So yeah, something I always do is like this really quick salmon dish that's like frozen salmon, so you don't really have to worry about expiration too much. I usually get all my poultry like frozen, just because it's, you know, I don't know, when you have a fresh thing of chicken and then your class runs late, you come home, you sleep, you look at the expiration, it's gone, no more chicken. So yeah, I always try to get frozen poultry, and I make I'll throw some rice in the rice cooker, and they're always done about the same time. So yeah, if you guys want to see more things about like the recipes that I use, or like meals that I specifically cook, I would love to do some more cooking videos. That's something that's also heavily requested, but I kind of just wanted to touch base today on what I do and kind of like how I manage this. So my biggest tip of all is to just love yourself. know what you like, and then try to just make really good decisions. You're always going to be at a crossroads with food, and it's like you can either get this or, like, you know, we know what the healthy option is, so you got to decide what you want more. Like, sometimes you're going to want that Big Mac more, and that's fine. But, you know, if you're trying to get the abs popping and stuff, then you got to, like, that's when you got to make a choice. Like, you know, you can have both, but it's a lot more work. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm so happy to be back, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.
Speak to me.